What's up? What's up? Just 350 in the house. So let's see. I was talking about dating part 3. It's still part 4. Okay. So what I was talking about last week, or the last time in the last video, the last time was, which I don't remember since the memory didn't last too long. Not joking. But the number one agenda guys need to understand when dating is, what do you want to do? You know, I'm gonna share a story real quick. I was in Subway sandwich in Namba, where the Quintessa building is. Now it's switched, and I'm very aware of how a lot of women out here, they're just lonely, regardless of the ages. I mean, you know, the legal ages and stuff. Where a whole bunch of them just walking the streets, just have just nothing to do all day, just bored. And so I was up there in Subway just eating and chilling, and so this lady came in. Well, she was nice looking, maybe in her 20s, and she sat next to me. You know, so of course if they sit next to you, you know, because you have this thing here in Japan about the empty seats, right? But I like empty seats, you know, and it's always the empty seat on the right. But you're not always sitting at the end of the bench. You're sitting somewhere in the middle. So it's like the empty seat on the right is always empty. But what about the empty seat on the left? I'm sure there's someone there. So. But anyway, of course she sat there. Maybe it could have been the only seat there available, but I doubt it. So anyway, she sat there and I'm eating, and she's not saying anything, you know. And I know she's totally bored. So I looked at her, you know, and about 20 minutes later, I decided to leave. So when I left, when I was going to leave, I looked at her, I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She said, "Fine." I said, "You busy?" She's like, "No." Naturally, no. I said, "Well, come on, let's go." So she was like, "All right." So she got up, and I'm telling you, I could have just went straight to a hotel. I could have went straight to a hotel, because I knew she would have went, because there was nothing else to do, right? I mean, because a lot of guys, okay, here in Japan, about dating and stuff like that, when you go to a hotel with a woman, it's always this thing about why I really need to go over there. It's this thing about what's it called? About when a guy and a girl go to a hotel, definitely consensual physical activities are going to happen. Okay, that's just a norm. Okay, but we are not Japanese. And so when we go to a hotel or anything like that, of course, I'm sure a lot of guys do go to hotels for the same reasons. But sometimes people just go there just to chill or to have a party because they can't do it at home. Like in Hawaii, people used to do that. I'm sure in LA, you know, some people do that. You know, just go there and just chill with a bunch of people and just drink and have fun. And I mean, if something happens, it happens. But more than likely, you know, sometimes nothing happens, just a bunch of people there together just having fun and stuff like that. So so at that time, that's how I'm thinking, you know, just because I wasn't, like I said, I'm not just always out trying to smash and stuff like that, you know. So I could have took her up there, and I knew she would have went. So we talked a little bit, you know, and so I ended up going to the, some camera, what's the place is called, not a appliance store, but those digital camera stores and stuff like that. And so we're walking around, and I'm looking at things, and we're talking a little bit. She's not really talking so much. And so about an hour and a half passed, and she said, "Okay, I gotta go." And I said, "Okay," you know, and I didn't change numbers or anything. And I said, "Well, have a fun time," and that was it. And I was, of course, you know, I was like, "Oh my God, you know, why didn't I just, you know, take her to a hotel?" Because I know that's where she wanted to go. And the whole thing was, whether we would have done anything or not, going to those places gives them a chance to rest, you know. So they'll do whatever, you know, sometimes, but a lot of times, more than likely they will. But afterwards, a lot of them just sleep, because it's just an opportunity to be away from their homes or their apartments, be able to sleep someplace that's in a different area, but it's free from any responsibilities as far as cleaning up, or your parents are not there, or whomever, you know. And they can just rest and stuff like that. Because I've been to hotels plenty of times and haven't done anything, and she'll just sleep, or we'll just sleep, because sometimes I'm tired too. Because in Japan, when you're living, especially when you're living by yourself, you're always out and about, and there's like really no place to rest unless you just go to these cafes and stuff. But it's just like, it's really tough. It really gets tough after a while. You have to really be creative unless you got a lot of money, where you go to one restaurant, sit there for 2 hours, then go walk around for like 15-20 minutes, and then go to another restaurant, sit there, for another couple of hours, and spending money and things like that. So that's what happened with her and stuff, and it was really interesting. So basically what it was something told me, because the reason something even told me to ask her was because to go. But then for me, it's like, I'm not so quick to go to hotels or even jump in beds with women like that. I've never been that kind of a person that just bam, go do it like that, So I don't know. I tell you, it's true. But and I'll tell you, it's probably a waste, because I do have a lot of talent and skills when it comes to getting women to go places with me and stuff like that, or even talking to them. But it's just a waste. So that's why sometimes when I talk to them, it's more or less let's get some business done, since they know the language and they can advance a lot faster than I can. But anyway, get things a lot faster done. Get things done a lot faster than I can. Oh, I gotta fix this steering wheel. I gotta fix this car. Anyway, so you have to have an agenda, and the better your agenda is, or the more that you understand it, it'll be so much easier, to talk to women, because you really don't need to take a lot of time and stuff, and you don't have to waste a lot of time either to, get to the point and stuff, especially in Japan. So, there's one guy told me a long time ago, he said, when you go out with Japanese women, you should make all the plans for them and everything. And I was like, when he told me that, I laughed. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But actually, I'm going to tell you the truth. He's right. And the whole point is going out there, finding things to do, finding places and stuff like that is a great idea, because it gives you a chance to, how can I say that? I get to learn more about Japan and see what's going, where they're going, stuff like that. Another thing too is a lot of these women, they've been to, all the places, especially in their areas, or all the popular places in Japan. And if they're planning to, if you have them to plan, make the plans, then more than likely, they're gonna be like, oh, well, I've been there. It's boring to me. So then, but if you make the plans, then, it's going to be, of course, I'm thinking it's going to be boring, but because you're there, I guess it gives them an excuse to be happy and stuff, So, it's really good to do that. When you're actually out dating, it really depends on, what you do. For me, when I go out, it's basically just, before I was driving and stuff, like we just go to, like in Nagoya, well, I had a car in Nagoya, so it was just, maybe go to the movies, go eat something real quick. But I'll tell you the truth, most of it was just that consensual physical activities, that was just constant. It was like every day, and it was different. It was mainly two or three women, well, definitely two. These two, it was like almost every day, except for, when they had to take their mandatory breaks and stuff. It was one more, but I ended up, and then have a friend of mine have her, which was probably, I don't know why I did that, but I always do that, set up guys with girls I meet and stuff there. Maybe I should have been with them. But yeah, it was, in Nagoya, it was pretty much that. Now, we did go eating and stuff like that. A lot of driving. One lady what I see, everyone had a car also, so it was a lot of driving. But more than likely, it was like, just come pick me up after work. Okay, you want to eat? No. Okay, let's go to the river. Okay, bam, bam, bam. They pick me up. Hey, you're hungry? No, because it was always at night too. Okay, well, what do you want to do? Let's just go to a parking lot or whatever. Bam, bam, bam. And it was just that, because they were working, I was working. I had a lot of free time because my job, I only had to work like 5 days a week and just made a lot of money. I did work at night at a bar and stuff like that, bar and grill place, which was real cool. And just to, it was just for fun, because I had a lot of free time and stuff. But yeah, pretty much that was it. And even like in Thailand, when I used to go to this one lady's house, and she was fine, and I never touched her, nothing, but if I wanted to, I could have, because because her brother introduced, it was another video, her brother introduced me to her, and it was funny how that happened. But I would go to the house and he would leave, but we'd be there like 2 hours, and she would go take a shower, come out in her bathrobe, sit on the bed. It was always a dog there barking, but we didn't do anything. I never touched her, never kissed her or anything, and we just sat there and just talked until the brother came home, But yeah, dating is out here. It's really interesting, but that's what my dating experiences are. My friends, they would go out. I have some friends who would go out with women, and nothing would never happen, just eating and stuff like that, good conversation, things like that. I had some friends, that go out with women and spend a lot of money and get dogged out, or get into an argument. Like one of my friends, I was walking in Namba or somewhere like that in Namba, and he oh, that was smart, thank you. I was walking in Namba. Wow, hello. And I was walking in Namba, and he was kind of distraught. I was like, what's wrong with you? And he was like, yeah, man, I was supposed to meet this girl, but she didn't want to pay, and I didn't want to pay, so she left. I was laughing and stuff. It was funny. And it's a lot of guys that go through that, right? And basically, he didn't have any money, but it was like someone he used to mess with a long time ago. But, as you get older, though, the game really changes and stuff like that. So in Japan, if you want to have a lot of fun like you did when you were young, you got to go to the ones who were at your age, the ones that were at your age and stuff, because they still have that party sense in them. It never leaves and stuff, and especially if they keep themselves in good shape, because I know some women out here who, I used to talk to, and, they were older, but still good shape, and party, still go to clubs and everything, and you got a lot of these women out here who still want to go out, even though they're married, they want boyfriends, some rich, but they still want a boyfriend, and still want to go out and party and have fun. So the dating scene here in Japan, it's still life, but I think what it is, a lot of guys, they don't know which women to hang out with. Now, of course, you can always go to the clubs and meet the women there. There are a lot of women that you can meet on the streets. When I first came to Japan, not Japan, but Osaka, I think I mentioned this before, I was walking down the street and saw these 2 Japanese women, so I walked over to them. They probably in their 20s, kind of young, maybe 25 or something, but I wasn't older. I was like 30, 31 or 32 at the time. No, I must have been like 33 at the time, because I think I came to Japan when I was 31, and I didn't go to Osaka until 2 years after I was here. And I met them, and how y'all doing, whatever, let's go to eat. We went to eat, I paid for everything. But the way they were laughing and giggling and stuff, I'm sure, had I just said, hey, let's all 3 of us go to a hotel, they would have went, because especially in those times, it was like that. It was really different from what it is now and stuff. It was like really super easy. Like you go to those clubs and stuff in Tokyo, white, and my African friends told me that they would just go in, the girls be lined up against the wall, and they just go in and grab a girl and leave, and she'll go and do whatever, and that's how it was. I got this one story, some white dude, some Japanese girls, I guess they went on a trip somewhere to his country, and there were like 6 of them, or 5 or 6 of them, or something like that, and he got them back to his place or whatever, or he went to their hotel or whatever, and they all laid in bed naked, and he went at them and stuff. It was really interesting though. But from what I hear, and even like a real close friend of mine, he went to this one club called Sam Davis. I think it was Sam Davis. I think it was Sam Davis 1 or 5. No, maybe 5. It was on Suji. What's it? Mida Sujidori, Sakai Sujidori or something like that. And he went there, and he said it was like 6 girls were on him, and 3 of them went home with him. But this guy, he kind of silly and stuff. What he likes to do, which a lot of people like to do, and that's where a lot of people fail in life. They like to get close, get right to the success, and then walk away from it. And so those are people that wants to like termed, scared of success or something like that. But it's really interesting though. But yeah, you have to really have something that you want to do. But dating out here it's how can I say, it's fun. I mean, it depends on what you want to have fun, because as far as being the saying like we think in your own country, it's going to be a lot different and stuff like that. But it's just fun as in interesting, how you could just meet this person that you don't know, and the next thing you know, you're married, or you're having a lot of fun with her, and it's just for that day, or it might change numbers, and she might call you every 6 months to hang out and do whatever, so it's really interesting. It's kind of fun in a way, but yeah, dating out here, I think, because what a lot of people, I guess when they call it dating, and there should be another word, just like hanging out, because, or I guess picking up women would just be getting a number. I guess that's my interpretation of it. Maybe it's advancing a little more to trying to get them to go back with you or something like that. But I forgot what we used to go out. We used to call it macking the women. Go out and macking the women and stuff. And let's go mack to some women. And it was just basically talking. It was all about talking and getting a number. Oh, hold on. Let me contact y'all later. Anyway, yeah. So back in the days, we called it macking and stuff. And like I said, we get numbers. See how many numbers you can get in a day. I think that was about it. I've been kissed a couple of times. I don't think I've ever actually taken anyone back to my place, because I don't usually do that. I don't go to theirs on the first day. I don't think so, except when I was in the military. But other than that, that's how it was back, when I was coming up and stuff like that. I don't know what other guys did, but the guys around me. But out here, you can, when you go out, you talk to the women. I think a lot of guys put a lot of pressure on themselves, because maybe they don't really know what picking up means, or what they're supposed to actually achieve. Because when you go to pick up a girl, if you say hi to a girl and she replies hi, that's it. You done picked up a girl. You know what I'm saying? Now you might say pick up a girl and stuff like that, but I'm thinking picking up to most guys is just me initiating a conversation, because I know there are a lot of guys out there who are not thinking about taking a girl back to their place. They're not thinking about that. Some guys do, but majority of guys, they don't think that far. Some of these guys are really nice, and they really want to get to know the girl. And a lot of these guys are really are genuine, and when they go out there and actually try to pick up a woman, but what they're actually trying to do is not actually pick up a woman, but make some kind of a relationship, or become friends with them first. I guess you'll have to become friends before you can date, right? And establish a good foundation, or a good area where you can start communicating with, calling on the phone or whatever, maybe go out to eat and stuff like that. Now things are a little advanced, so sometimes you can just walk up to a girl, hey, how you doing, what's your name, if you're busy, not busy, let's go, have something to drink, and stuff like that. So so it's involved to that. But I mean, back in the days, it was like that too. People go out and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I think it is. What a lot of guys, the ones who are not so advanced, they just want to go out and just have some fun, And if they're able to get a number, like one of my friends, I can't say his name, but one of my friends, she came out here to meet me, and we met, and I thought, he wanted to talk about girls or something, but we just started talking a lot of business, a lot of serious stuff. Then we went to P.U.A. He's really tall, and so I found this one really cute girl, so I took her, or they were right next to each other, I think I took her over to him, whatever. But anyway, I introduced them, and I put their hands together, and she didn't snatch her hand away from his or anything. And so he was just so happy. You see this big giant jumping up and down, oh yeah, all smiling, giggling and stuff, laughing, that he had a really pretty girl holding his hand, only holding his hand. I don't even know if he even remembered her name. I know for sure, afterwards, they didn't really talk. Could have danced, but not really much happened, so she ended up going her way, he ended up going his way and stuff. But that's what I mean. Like, a lot of these guys, they just really are natural. They just want to just get out and have a good time. And a good example of this also is like, I met these two twins in this club, Ghost, and they were from Kyoto. They were taller than I was, really handsome guys and stuff. Both twins, identical height, everything. Was a trip. But they were just standing around, and I was like, wow, these guys are really tall. They shouldn't be standing around by themselves, because I figure the taller you are, the more power you have, So I walked over to him. I said, hey, where y'all women? Like, oh, we just got here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, all right. So then I went back to him about another 30 minutes later and said, hey, where y'all girls? Oh, we're trying to talk, but, we're having a bad time, whatever. I said, okay, you guys both buy me 2 drinks each, and I'll get you girls for you. And they're like, some pretty girls, I said. And they're like, all right. So I went and got them 2 girls and brought the girls to them, put their hands together, told them to introduce each other. And they came back like 2 hours later. I guess they spent 2 hours with the girls, and they came back to me and they're like, oh, thank you, that was so cool, and these guys already know they can, take a girl out or do whatever, but they weren't looking for that. They were just looking for some, like I said, most guys just look for some just fun time, just communication, dancing, talking and stuff like that. And end up getting 4 drinks for free, and so basically that's what I'm saying. A lot of guys, when they talk about pickup, the pickup game is really, if you really want to look at it in its real true, how can I say, entity or whatever, it's you have to have a lot of skill, and it's tough. There are a lot of let down. Some guys, I remember, some guys getting so mad at a girl for not even giving her a number that they'll cuss a girl out. Back in the States, they would cuss a girl out. Some be ready to fight. I saw this video in Korea where this one guy, he did something really bad to this one girl for not even giving him her number. So it was so it's really intense. A lot of guys can't take that no, because in their minds they created this scene that he gonna walk over, talk to her, she's gonna be so happy, to see him and talk to him like he is talking to her. And then when she's like, she's not controlled in your mind, she say no. And then a lot of guys, they just get so messed up that one rejection, quote unquote, which I just don't call, I don't ever call it rejection, I just call it bad timing, is can really ruin a guy. So you guys out there trying to date or whatever, it's tough. Don't just go after her. Do what you want. Not do what you want. Go talk to who you think you want. And if she say no, then hey, it's cool, because it's her choice. If you force her, then she end up driving with her and she's yelling at you, I don't know, you're boring and blah blah blah, blah, all this stuff. Like these Japanese cartoons my wife watching the girls be on there like, God dang, you know, maybe that's what my wife is getting her training from, you know. But you know, he's talking so much like want to reach in a cartoon and stuff the cartoon character, you know, shut up, you know. But it's a trip. So you guys, you know, if you really want to go out there and get a girl and stuff, you can listen to the pickup artists. Please listen to them, because a lot of them do have good ideas and stuff like that. But you have to remember that the P.U.A. game and what you want to do might not be the same. You know, they might have the same. But the P.U.A. game may encompass what you want, but what you want may not encompass the P.U.A. game itself, and that's where a lot of guys go wrong. Because listen, if you want to know anything about about a woman, and I keep telling guys this, you know, look at your mom. Your mom is the best example that you're gonna ever get, and is debt free, emotionalness, debt free, or whatever, emotionalness. You don't have to worry about it. Everything you need to know about a woman, you watch your mom. And almost all women, they're almost the same. You know, just like they say, guys, I mean, how much different are you from a different guy? You know, you might say you're different from your father, but that's only because, but that was when you were 5 years old or 8 years old or 10 years old. Yeah, you're 10 years old and your father's a grown man. Yeah, of course, but now that you're a grown man, how much different are you from your father? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, be careful with this P.U.A. game. You know, maybe what you want to do is innocent. You know, so out here, so to get back to, you know, dating, let's see if you do meet a Japanese girl out here or wherever, and you want to date, you know, what you want to do on this date, you know, because sometimes a lot of people, a lot of these women might look really cute, but a lot of them don't have a conversation. You got some that do, and their conversations consists of talking about what they want to talk about. Some other women's conversation might be something that you don't want to hear, you know, or some might just be quiet. Like I know this one lady, I don't say anything, she doesn't say a word. She really doesn't. She has to listen. I have to say something, she'll snatch one of my words or phrases and then make a conversation out of it, you know. And it's just really difficult hanging out with her, you know, because she doesn't talk. But at the same time, I don't really like to talk either. Trust me, I don't. So it's cool too, you know. But we'll just sit around or whatever, and nothing to go on. Like, all right, bye, and that's it. On the phone, the same thing. All right, hang up, you know. But the reason I do that is because she always take my conversation, change it to something else, and get into an argument. But you know, you do have a lot of women like that. So she might be pretty, but you know, she might be boring. She might be exciting. Or then if you do meet the one that's perfect for you, she might have somebody else, or she might have other things that she wants to do, and you know, the timing isn't right for her to be with you. Because there are a lot of Japanese women out here who know how to socialize, you know, and have a good conversation, and everything will be fine. And once you finish, that's it, you know. And you expect her to call you, or if you call her, you know, because a lot of them will give you the number of contact, and they won't call you because they got other things to do. You know, you're just there for that moment, and you two shared a beautiful moment together, and it was over, and there's nothing else in the future. So, you know, that's part of you know, dating and picking up and stuff like that. So you have to really be careful, you know, because I've talked to a lot of people and had to help a lot of people with a lot of their problems with their health with these women and stuff, because their ideology of what they think is supposed to happen doesn't fit with the ideologies that's out here, you know, when the women, because out here when it comes to dating, actually I believe the women are in charge, you know, especially if they got the money and they spending stuff for you. Like I had this one lady I used to always hang out with, and she just buys me stuff, and we'll get into an argument. Well, we don't get in an argument, but she'll start arguing about something. I'll listen into her till she finishes. Then I'll go back and correct her and show her where she's made a mistake, because she's always trying to backtrack and all this stuff, because she'll slip and say something where she can't. And then I'm like, it's okay. I'm saying, listen, whatever you want to say, it's okay. Because to me, it's just a story. That's all it is. Your conversations are just a story. To me, they're nothing serious, and I'm going to, judge my future on or anything like that. But I understand, so it's okay. And next thing you know, buy me clothes or, doing things for me, and I'm like, wow, I had to do this. But maybe she does it either because she's sorry, but I think I'm teaching her something. She's doing it because she realized that her game ain't up on point, or maybe I'm teaching her how to socialize more, because she's one of those women who she has friends, but her friends are the ones kind of like leeches. They only call you when they have problems and stuff like that, and I guess that's what leech does. Leech until you can get what they want, and then when they finish, they gone. And so she has a lot of friends that are like that, and so when she talks to me, I'll listen so she get a chance to talk. But then at the same time, when you talk to somebody, they think they got one up on you, then they'll try to slip in that conditioning and that controlling thing, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's not gonna work with me, sorry. But yeah, dating here in Japan is it's interesting, but it just depends on if you get the ones who want to take you everywhere, or if you get the ones who want you to take them everywhere, or if you get the ones who they'll go with you but they expect you to pay, but they ain't trying to do anything else because they're waiting for some other dude to call her that night or whatever, because these women out here, they busy, just like the guys are, I mean, I used to have, I think the most I had was like 4 appointments in one day to meet 4 women, and I did it, but it's tough. But when one of them break up or one of them say no, it's cool. I'm like, it's cool, because just give me time to rest and do other things. So so dating out here, there's really nothing general, other than you'll meet the girl and you'll go someplace, but pretty much what's going to happen is already there. Just go out to eat, listen to her talk, or whatever, go shopping or whatever, maybe little consensual physical activities and stuff like that. But once that's over, it just goes back to like if nothing didn't even happen, and that's what's really interesting. You'll be the woman and stuff, go through all these physical consensual activities, and then when you finish, it'll be just like if nothing happened, like if you just met like 5 minutes ago and stuff. It's really cool how they control their emotions and thoughts like that. So, and you might be in love, but she might like, hey, it's just that, and because it is just that, then she'll I mean, you might not be able to handle it. A lot of guys can't handle it, so just be careful, when you're dating, but picking up a girl is not dating. Picking up a girl is it's only establishing a connection, and that's all it is, and some guys are able to establish that connection that first day and move on to the next step, whatever. Some guys aren't. If you're the guy who can't, don't worry about it. Just go at your pace, and and do what you do it the best you can. You can listen to these other guys try to get skills up and stuff on that, but I'm gonna tell you, it's not that difficult. All you got to do is just keep the conversation going, and the best way to keep a conversation going, when you're with a woman, is just let her do all the talking. Just let her do all the talking and stuff. But anyway, I'm getting a little tired, so I'm gonna quit here, and that's it. I guess that's all I have to say about dating for now, anyway. All right, peace.